7 million square feet, and $5 billion of local economic impact here in Orlando. Today I hung out with Mark Tesser. He's the executive director of the Orange County Convention Center. We learned a ton about the area and what's coming. Stay tuned. So, how big is the convention center in general?
So we have a total of 7 million square feet.
7 million square feet.
7 million square feet of space, and 2.1 million of that is exhibit space, which is our prime anchor space for events.
How where does that rank us in terms of overall space?
We are the third largest in the country in total space, and I would put us second in market share.
Okay.
So Las Vegas is the largest convention center, or largest convention in market.
Okay.
And they are number 2 in size. Chicago is number 1, Vegas is number 2, and we're number 3 in size. In market share, it would be Las Vegas, us, and then Chicago would be third.
And how many people actually come through this space on a given time?
Well, we have this year we have 2.3 million people that are attending events, either exhibiting or attending.
Yeah.
But that would not include anyone that is either working in setup, tear down, or working during the event. And we have hundreds and hundreds of people that would work on every event, from move-in, so people driving forklifts, installing and dismantling booths, bringing in flowers and other things, obviously working for us in housekeeping and setting electric and rigging. And then our providers like Sodexo Live, which is our food and beverage provider. And so they may have 800 to 1,000 people working on a single day, serving meals from breakfast, lunch, dinner to receptions, prepping food. We're a city. We're really a city among itself.
So 7 million square feet total, but 2 million of exhibit space. So this would all be included in that 7 million, but only the exhibit hall is actually the 2.1.
Yep.
Amazing. Can we take a look?
Sure.
So this is what it looks like when there's nothing going on.
Yeah, cement floor. That we provide some of the services in here, but the rest are done with the show's a contractor, and then literally a village would be built in here in a matter of days. We have one show that is every 3 years that will utilize all of our square footage. It's an international plastics event. It's National Plastics Exposition.
Really?
And there will literally be machines on the floor that would be building you or manufacturing you a plastic deck chair.
No way.
Literally, or bottle caps, or anything in the plastics industry will be made here. We have a show called Fab Tech, which is in the welding and forging of steel, where there'll literally be on the floor a machine that will be cutting Mickey Mouse's face out of metal with water. Just, you could run your hand right through it and it'll cut your hand.
No way.
Right off. But literally that would be doing here. And then this is where PGA, the Professional Golf Association, has been with us. They're celebrating their 40th year with us this year.
No way.
Unbelievably. And so any golf equipment, anything you would need in the game of golf will be here for the industry, right? So it's golf professionals and people that work at golf clubs, and then everyone that manufactures or sells products or services to the golf industry is here. And you could be just walking along the floor, and you look and it's like, oh my goodness, that's Tom Watson, famous golfer.
Sure,
Literally would be right here. At the end of the hall, they'll put up some big nets, and then you can go and you can try out some equipment. But that show's been here in this building. Now we'll be celebrating its 40th anniversary. And if you can keep an event that long,
you're doing something right.
Right. Number one is the market. It's the right market for them to sell. In Orlando, with the weather and the golf and the air and the size of our destination, that is there. And then for us, we've got to be providing them the customer service and taking care of them and making sure that they feel valued. And that's certainly something that we do, and we care about all of our events, right? But it's very, 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 very rare for an event to be somewhere for 40 years.
That is wild. 7 million square feet. How do you even get around?
Well, we jump on segways every now and again.
Can I use one of these?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The little thing in the back.
Got a big old head. Oh, there we go. Done. This is a little bit more fun than walking.
It's not bad.
All
Got
right,
it?
so why would a big company choose to bring their event here versus the Vegas or the Chicago, which I guess are our competitors?
You know, I really think there is no other community that truly cares about the industry and the support that we get. We get so much support from Mayor Demings and our Board of County Commissioners. We are the crown jewel of Orange County, and we call ourselves the center of hospitality. And we live that, and we live that with the entire community that supports us in all aspects of what we do. And I would say to that community, find a community that cares more about you than we do. And I think they would struggle finding a community that truly wants people to come here, embrace, and help them have a great visit and productive one. Yeah. Whatever they're looking, whatever part of their journey it is, we have something really special here. And our secret sauce is that we got a community that is really committed to doing what we do, but taking care of the visitors.
Sure. It's not just square footage. It's not just heads in the room. It's, do they have a great experience, and do you actually get the result from your event that you're hoping for?
Yep.
That's actually what matters for people. If they're going to spend the time, money, and effort to put all of this on, it better be incredible.
It's all about ROI, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to, whether it's your exhibitors selling product, whether it's your attendees getting education or motivated, whether it's advancing industry issues,
Sure.
right? Legislative slate for the next year. Whatever you're doing collectively in industry, we want to help you be successful at that. We recognize what you do, and we can't do it without you. And I think we do that better than any other destination.
Interesting. You know, before I lived in Orlando, I would come to expos like this all the time. And then we decided to move here. And if that's you, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Check out my real estate team over on Google. We've got over 1,700 five-star reviews. And then when the time comes, reach out at theorlandoreal.com/real to get started. Sometimes you hear people say events are dead. And yet I'm looking around at IAPA and everything else going on. It seems to be pretty lively.
So, you know, first of all, right after COVID started, the industry was starving to get back together and be face to face.
Yeah.
Because, you know, first of all, networking is a big part of face to face events, right? And in Zoom and a web, you can't network.
That's right.
And so absolutely networking is the big part of what people are wanting out of trade shows. And the big three things that people are looking for at a trade show and convention, that's just 34% of our total events. Then we have corporate events, we have consumer events, we have sporting events, a lot of amateur athletic events. But the ones you would know about, the PGA, IAPA,
yeah.
that's owned or operated by a trade association representing an industry. National Association of Realtors,
sure, yeah,
is one that's been here,
sure,
right, with us.
And when you say, I know there's sports, that's like there's a massive volleyball event here. There's like, when you talk about social, is it MegaCon or what is it that?
MegaCon would be in our pop culture,
yeah,
which also would be like a consumer event.
Yeah.
This is open to the public. An example of that would be a tattoo show or an auto show, a boat show,
yeah,
where you come, you pay a ticket, and you go and you see a hot tub show or some home and garden would be events that we have here on a regular basis that would be open to the consumer. That is a portion of what our events are. And you know, our core market is trade shows and conventions, right?
Yep.
Either owned by media companies or trade associations generally.
Makes sense.
For-profit media or whatever that are there representing an industry, like National Association of Realtors, representing the real estate professional industry,
Makes
right?
sense.
And so what number one is what's happened since COVID is, number one is events are trending significantly younger. They went from the average age from the 50s to the 40s, trending significally more female. And so,
do you have any data behind why that might be?
It's the workforce and what people are you know, coming in and channeling out. One of our real big contractors that work in the building called Freeman.
Yeah.
They do a lot of really interesting research on it, and they promoted it, and I'm quoting their information.
Yeah.
But so, and I don't know the numbers right offhand, but it went from boomers and millennials boomers and Gen X to being the big things, big industry now millennials and Gen Zers are dominating events. And so events have had to change what they're doing, how they are, what they're bringing, what content. A convention is a community, a community that they want living 365 days a year, that ultimately culminates in the 3 to 4 days
where they're getting together.
They're getting together, and they may be getting together in regions or whatever, but the industry will culminate and celebrate and plan the next year ahead at their annual convention.
Wow!
So the big things they're looking for is commerce, networking, and so it's networking, commerce, and learning. And all of that has to be wrapped together with experience.
Sure. Well, right? I think a lot of people, they're drawn to this idea of community. We talked about this a ton on our show. Like, I think Orlando can do a really good job and be even better at bringing together a community. But that's really what you're doing here, is you're taking it from online, you're taking it from the ether and saying, let's actually get belly to belly and enjoy whatever that is, whether that's dressing up like a superhero or buying a boat or golf or whatever it might be.
Or learning real estate or learning new laws or learning whatever, or even more so finding So one of the ththings that absolutely happened during COVID is people had challenges that they had to solve, right? Sure. And so for a while it was supply chain. So what do? You come here and you go out on a trade show and you go, hey, I got this, I need that.
Yeah.
Let's do a little horse trading. I can get you this widget if you get me that, right? And so it was looking to solve challenges, solve problems.
Let's talk a little bit about the economic impact of all of this on Orlando in terms of people investing here, the jobs, and that sort of thing. Like, what's the economic impact on Orlando for this convention center?
So the economic impact that we estimate, both direct and indirect, for this fiscal year that we're entering is $5 billion.
Holy crap.
And that is not only the people that come in here and spend their money,
right?
But it's the people like me that make their living off of it and then go and make that money. So I'm a waiter, and I go ahead and I take my tips and my wages and I go home and I put that back out in the economy. So it is both direct and indirect. And the number that we utilize, we do this through every other year we go to a third-party economist that gives us a number based on their model, which is called in-plan model, that ultimately spits out a number. And I think it's $25.63 per attendee that we utilize as the number times the amount of people that come here. That again extrapolate both the direct and indirect effect. But certainly, if you look at iDrive, before the convention center came, and now that we're here, the differences and all the activities and things that we've got going on. The great thing about us is as we discussed, we have events going literally just about all the time of year, and not every time of year is high tourist season, right? And if we can get an event that comes in here when leisure traffic is down, when other business cycles are down, that's the difference between people working and not working.
It floats everybody else up and down.
That's it, and that's ultimately, that's the reason why we exist. We are here, we receive tourist development tax to drive economic impact for the community, and that's what we live every day. We are operating this facility with others in mind, not us. It's not about us, it's not about Orange County, it's about how do we keep people working and living their dreams, creating the American dream here in this area, not only directly around us, but throughout Central Florida. Not only do we people come in here and then leave, and leave their money with us, right? They're very sustainable. We don't have to educate their children. They don't really use many county resources. They just drop a lot of money and then they go
head
home.
Back over. That's so good.
But then they also, develop. Like for an example, the industries that are represented from that show benefit from it.
Of course.
So the National Association of Veterinary Medical, the VMEX event, that's here every January, has the world's best education for veterinary professionals. So if you are living in Orlando, your vet has the access to the best continuing education that they can get all around the world. right here every January.
That's really cool.
And that's one example of it, right? We talked a little bit about the PGA, right? If you're in the golf professionals, you can see all the latest and greatest. When there's other industries that are here, it will only make a boom for other people that are here in the business, not only for their education, but for business opportunities to help grow their business.
Love that. So we talked about the economic impact on Orlando, and so the need for an expansion of the convention center. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So the building that we're in now, the West Building, is pound for pound probably the most flexible and user-friendly of a big building in the country. 1.1 million square feet of space that breaks up into 15 different configurations, many different lobby areas that different groups can register, ballrooms, meeting rooms. It has everything it needs, and we routinely host 3 to 4 or 5 events at a time here. And the North-South building, which opened up in 2003. So we were building it right after 9/11.
Oh, wow.
And the TDT funds we were in worse financial shape then than we were during COVID. And so some big chunks of the building were value engineered out.
Okay.
And currently that building does not have a dedicated ballroom at all. We can quarter off some space in the exhibit hall, but it's still got a cement floor, it's still got air walls, it doesn't have great flexible lighting, and it is made do. And currently the north-south concourses don't connect, and so they connect outside.
Got it.
And there's not enough meeting rooms here. So the long and short of it is we don't have any more than 2 events running there concurrently.
Interesting.
And so it is all about layerability. A convention calendar is a puzzle. How do you take one event as they're moving in and moving out and layer ones on top of each other to have that flow of business 361 days a year, or however that ultimately is. And that's what our goal is. Right now, if you are an event that need a big dedicated ballroom, you either will come to this, you either come to the West Building or you'll go to another destination.
Yeah.
The expansion solves that with a 100,000 square foot ballroom. In essence, what we're doing is finishing what ultimately we wanted to do
back in 2003.
But ultimately couldn't because of funding. So we're building a 100,000 square foot ballroom, be the largest in Central Florida. Wow. Column free, beautiful space, 44,000 square feet of meeting room, and that connectivity between the two concourses.
It'll all be inside.
All be inside.
Air conditioning.
New lobby. So you'll be able to come in right off Convention Way under protected porte-cochere, be able to walk right into 2 distinct lobby areas, and then go right into the exhibit hall.
Oh, that's great.
So it's a new entrance. Right now in the north-south, you have to go up, over, and then down. This will be a new entrance, you'll be able to dramatically walk right in. So if the show wants a new front door for their event, and then you'll go up to an intermediate level, which connects the 2 concourses, which has meeting space running along it, along with a lot of casual area, networking areas where you can grab a cup of coffee and sit and talk. More informal gatherings, which is certainly a trend in our industry. When events are coming here, they want to start the conversation. They want to start content literally as you're getting off the bus.
For sure.
How are you having a conversation? How are you creating community? When they're here, everywhere they're going, they want the event to continue, right?
Yeah.
In some format. And certainly informal areas is a big part and a growing trend. So a big area on level 2 that will have a lot of open areas for people to have informal and formal gatherings, and then up to the which actually be the 4th level, where we'll have the ballroom and large pre-function space.
Are we on the verge of maybe losing potential business because we don't have that?
Well, we're full. We're full. And so what we need to do is we need to create more availability to layer events. So we can look at events that we're hosting over there right now, or even a large event that's hosting here, right? Because I mentioned this incredible flexibility. If we could take one event that currently can't fit over there and bring it over here, we've got, again, 15 different hall configurations here that we could be layering events, and that just gives us that much more flexibility. Also, that 100,000 square foot ballroom, which would be our largest dedicated ballroom, it really helps us be a leader in the social, military, education, religious, and fraternal groups. And those events generally meet during the summer. And the summer is the slowest time of year in our industry.
Really?
And if we could be a leader in July and August while we're maxing out the rest of the year, it only ensures that everybody's working more and everybody's making more money as we're driving more economic impact for the community.
And it's not $5 billion for the convention center, it's $5 billion for the community.
That's it.
And that's the thing, if we can get that more to 6 or 7, everybody here has a better life, better livelihood, better opportunities.
You know, when we have 25,000 people in for a convention, a religious convention in early August, that's the difference between people working and not working during that week, right?
Wow.
And that's what we're here to do. We're here to drive economic impact. When we have events that come around all different types of holidays, again, what it ensures is that people are being able to take care of their families, and that's ultimately what we're here to do.
That's what it's all about.